You know what that is. Friday vibes, y'all. It's Friday, and I'm excited as I always am on a Friday because it's the Sabbath and I get to sit back and relax and not even think about work because this week was a doozy. It was one of those weeks where I looked in my calendar and I was like, oh, this looks okay. I don't have a whole lot of meetings, which meetings have taken over my life. So when I look at my calendar and I don't see a whole lot of meetings, it's great. But then the day comes and then suddenly there's this not anonymous, ad hoc. There's this ad hoc meeting booked here and there. And next thing you know, my day that had like 2, 3 things on it has like 5 or 6 things on it. So that happened a couple times this week and it was a lot. But thankfully, God gave me the good sense to institute this no meetings on Fridays, as well as, well, Mondays is just team meetings. But at least I have this day, right, to like catch up and whatever. Anyways, more exciting things to talk about. First of all is next week, I am going home to Montreal. I miss my family. One thing about being under quarantine, it does keep you away from your loved ones, and my loved ones are already 5 hours away. So I hadn't been able to go see them, which I probably would have gone around May because my mom and I have the same birthday. So we tend to try to hang out together or do something together. So I would have gone in May. I probably would have seen my parents in March as well because I was going to go meet my mom in Grenada. But, you know, that's just when things were breaking out. So there was like no travel. So I missed March, I missed May. Maybe we would have taken a road trip to New York. I don't know. But I miss my family. And so next week I am going to Montreal. I will probably record on the way so that I have some stories to tell when I get back. But in place of me actually being here, I'm going to leave you a treat. So make sure you turn in next week. You're going to love this treat. Make sure you turn in next week. I'm so excited about it. I wish I could talk about it. It's going to be a treat. And I hope you actually recognize what the treat is when it comes. If not, I'll explain it in my follow-up video. So aside from going to Montreal, there's a lot happening like real soon. This weekend I have a photo shoot. So one of the projects I work on, it's called the Black Fashion and Beauty Gala Awards. And we did a photo shoot with about 16 or 17 Black women in fashion and beauty in Toronto. And so we're doing another shoot with men this time. So Black men in fashion and beauty. That's happening on Sunday. And I'm actually interviewing the men because we are going to put them in our magazine. Yes, BFBG. So that's Black Fashion and Beauty Gala for short. BFBG launched a magazine, so it's going to be one of our promotional vehicles, but it's also going to be a place for us to tell the stories of all the great fashion and beauty talent there is in Canada and around the world too. So besides the photo shoot, well, resting Saturday, Sunday is the photo shoot, so that should be fun. And then after that, it's pretty much it. I probably have to go to the grocery store and get some water because I like to have a lot of water on tap. But my weekend is, not too crazy until we get to Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that. So I thought I'd talk a little bit today about what I do because I don't think we've had that conversation yet. You might know if you follow me anywhere on the internet, you might know that I'm the founder of Gabriel PR, which is a digital PR and branding firm here in Toronto, but we work with clients around the world to help them start, launch, promote, and grow their brands. We want to make people famous. We want to see, the great talented people out there, people who are doing things like you wouldn't believe, people who are using their time and their energy to do good things for this world. I strongly believe in lifting them up, beyond whatever we pay attention to in mainstream. There are people doing some things in this world that we should all know about. So my passion is about how do I make them famous, or how do I get their business structured to a point where other people want to work with them. They're getting exposure, they're getting awareness, they're getting clients. So we're all about how can we help you do that so that you can do the thing that you are gifted in and talented in, and not have to work some 9 to 5 just because you have to pay bills and eat, which to me is the greatest injustice to me. I mean, think of somebody who's the most amazing singer or the most amazing dancer, and you feel like, wow, this person should be on the world stage, and yet they're working this 9 to 5 job. It doesn't sit well with me. So I'm just all about how can we make you famous? How can we build up your brand or build up your business to get you to the place where you are operating in your passion and your talents, and you are touching the world, touching lives with your passion and your talents. So that's what we're about at Gabriel PR. Now, I did incorporate my business 2 years ago, incorporated under S. Gabriel Consulting Incorporated, because I felt like I do so much more beyond the PR and branding. So I've done video editing projects, photo shoot projects, graphic design projects, newsletters, events, digital marketing, so advertising, outdoor advertising as well. So not just online advertising. I've done advertising in magazines. I've been a managing editor for another magazine, not my own. There's just so much. And I felt like when I was incorporating, I did not want to point to any one thing. I just wanted to leave it broad. So consulting. So consulting in what? It's pretty much media and communications. So if I had to put titles on it, I would say media and communications, because we also have FBI Style magazine. So FBI Style serves so many purposes. It's an outlet for me to express myself creatively. It's also a place where we can give our clients a platform to raise awareness for them as well. So again, we want to tell their stories. We want to make them famous. At least we have FBI Style as a way to give them some exposure and tell their stories. And it's also an opportunity for us to connect with key players in the industry. So we've gotten influencers and other PR firms on board to kind of help with contributing their content. So, the magazine is doing really well. It's, there's been ups and downs as we get into our workflow, and as there's a bit of a change around, because when some students, not all students, stay to work with us. So the ones who don't stay with us, we have to find out, well, how do we fill in those gaps? And we're getting to a place of, I think we're pretty solid in terms of our content, but it would be great to maybe refine it a little bit more, just so that things are streamlined and that we can do things like right now we're trying to implement breaking news stories. So we want to fit that into the workflow somehow so that we are churning it out almost as soon as it hits the pitch. So there's that I do as well. So I'm the editor-in-chief of FBI Style magazine and the founder of Gabriel PR, president of S. Gabriel Consulting Incorporated. That's me in a nutshell, you guys. I don't think I've ever shared that whole spiel with anybody, but that's me in a nutshell. And then in terms of some of the projects that I'm working on, so I mentioned BFBG. There's also Black Business Network. So this is one that I started with a colleague in 2013. We have a group of about 4,500 members, all Black businesses or professionals or Black people. And we want to build that up to be a support and a resource in the Black community, in the Black business community, because you'd be surprised how many people don't know a lot about where to start when it comes to running a business. And it's something that I've helped a lot of entrepreneurs navigate. It's like, where do I register my business? What do I need to know about taxes and accounting and all of that? So the BBN we want to build ourselves up to do that. And also, however we can either provide funding or direct funding to these businesses, that would be a sweet spot to be. So that's kind of what we're striving to do. Any other projects? Well, the rest are like client works or equity deals. So I'm going to do a blog on my 2020 equity deals. You'll hear all about that. One of the other projects I'm working on, It's the Patio Chick. So if you haven't seen or heard about the Patio Chick, I don't know where you've been. This is a group that when I started working on it in April, there was 4,000 members, which that grew in a very short space of time. And now we're at 200,000 members. It's crazy. The group has just been growing, and it's like the more women come on, the more women invite other women. The queue, there was probably like 100,000 people in the queue waiting to get into the group. It was out of control. So that's a project that I'm working on with Miss Tara Page, and Tara and I have worked together before when she was starting out her brand. We worked together on developing her brand, and she flew me out to Texas, and we did a photo shoot. We were there for like 3-4 days, maybe 2-3 days, and it was really great. It was a really fun project, and now we're working together again, so it's great. Um, those are some of the top projects. In terms of clients, one of my clients is they're a group of therapists. They're called El Piso Counseling, and we are getting ready to communicate the out of this brand. Let me tell you, I've created the whole communication plan, and now I'm just plugging in the details in terms of the dates and the content we need to create. So really getting into a place of details when it comes to communication, because it's not just myself. So I have paired up with one of my students to work on this project. And for most projects, most clients, I pair people up. So I'm paired up with one of my students, and we're going to be working on this together. I'm super excited about it. I just can't wait to open up their social media one day and see the new posts. So working on that, trying to finish that up today, because we've been trying to finalize this communications plan for a long time, which for the most part, it's done. However, I really want to get the timeline in. The timeline is the most important to get everybody on the same page. Anyways, that's just a handful of the things that I'm working on, just to give you some insight on what I do. I think over time, will unfold more and more about who is Sandra Gabriel. Like, for example, having breast cancer. So I was diagnosed with cancer in 2017. I still have cancer. I am at stage number 4, which is terminal, but clearly I'm not dead. God has a plan for me, which is why I think I'm still here and vibrant and having a good time in life and going after my goals like there is no tomorrow, because we don't know when, right? So in light of that, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is coming up in October. I hope you will all celebrate. And at some point, if you're following me, you might have heard me say that I'm not supporting breast cancer research, because how is it that you have been given funding for a certain amount of time and there is no cure, there is no results, but yet you continue to pour into this? And I was super like, when you think about it, if they find the cure for cancer, thousands, tens of thousands of people are losing their jobs, because a lot of the cancer foundations have teams and staff and employees, and they almost can't find the cure because all those people will be out of a job. And I don't like to say that they're just holding on to the cure, but I mean, we don't know. I mean, look at, AIDS and HIV. It's the same thing. How long have we been pouring money into these foundations and these causes, and we have yet to see a result, but we continue to pour? You think I can go to any one of my clients and say, yeah, just pay me and I'm going to help you with your communications, and they continue to pay me even though they don't see the result that they paid for? But I am taking back what I said, because I am the recipient of some really cool medication for my illness. It's called Eyebrands, and what it does is it attacks specifically the cancer cells. So it doesn't go after all my cells like chemo goes after your entire everything. It just goes after the cancer cells, and it's just a pill. Actually, I'll show it to you. I can show it to you right now. It's just a pill. It's the new chemo. So that's why I have to say, you know what? Let's go ahead and support breast cancer research. So we're not trying to get the cure. We're just trying to, make life a little more livable for people who have cancer. So this is the pill. It's supposed to be the new chemo, I guess. It's specifically for women who have stage 4, apparently, or so I believe. Stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And I take it once a night for 3 weeks. I have zero symptoms, zero side effects. My only side effect is the hot flashes I get because we shut down my ovaries every month. But aside from that, I'm totally fine. And it's things like that the breast cancer research money goes to, is to give us these medications that maybe it's not going to take it away, but it will slow it down, or maybe stop it, for a period of time. So that's the kind of thing I don't mind investing in, or sorry, donating to. All kinds of notifications going on. I don't mind donating to that because it means progress, right? So I've made my peace with that. I'm still not at peace with the fact that we don't have a cure. It's been how long? How long have we been donating into cancer research? Years. Okay. So Breast Cancer Awareness Month coming up in October. FBI style, you're going to see pink ribbons on some of our posts, and with some of our clients who want to celebrate breast cancer awareness as well, they're also going to have pink ribbons on their posts, just to raise awareness. And to be honest, this is the first year that I'm actually embracing that I have cancer. Not that I deny it. I'm so full of life. I don't even feel it. I don't even think about it. Like, I'm just going after those things that God has put on my heart, those desires. And, unless it's making me weak or making me suffer, hey, it could hang out in my body. Just don't spread or grow. You want to hang out in my body, go ahead. Just don't spread or grow. So I'm totally fine. But this is the first year that I'm actually feeling like maybe I should involve myself somehow in the fight against cancer, or supporting cancer survivors or other cancer warriors. I don't know, it hasn't fully come to me, but I'm like, you know what, I feel like I want to at least put a pink ribbon on some of our posts just to raise awareness. So that's my post for today. Looking forward to next week. Oh boy, it's gonna be such a treat. And if it's not a treat for you, it's a treat for me. And I'm excited about it. And I'm proud of it. So make sure you're there to watch it and leave your comments, your feedback. Aside from that, that's all I got. Showing up as usual on a Friday. This is what, 5? This is our 5th date. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for coming back. If you want to learn more, you can check me out on sandragabriel.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at I am Sandra Gabriel. Aside from that, just keep coming back here, meeting me here. Why don't you actually click that bell notification, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you get a notification every time I'm in here, chatting away. And, like this video if you like this video. If you have any comments, please leave a comment, suggestions. Remember, I'm here to spend time with you. We're spending time together. So in order to make this the best time that it can be, I would love some comments on what you want to know about. What do you want me to talk about? There's really nothing I can't talk about. I can't talk about Trump. Don't ask me to talk about Trump. It's not happening. I am not talking about clowns in the circus. I take that back. God does not like ugly. Whatever you want to talk about, just let me know. I'm here. I'm going to see you next week. Well, you're going to see me next week in a special way. That probably sounded pretty bad. Anyways, next week, big surprise. Week after that, we'll probably talk about my Montreal trip, and we'll take it from there. All right, you guys. Ciao.